going on, guys? Beastly Gamer here. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Incredible game. I've really been enjoying it. I've been in the midst of the throes of moving. I'm moving into my house. I'm actually moving tomorrow. That on top of being very sick, dealing with a newborn daughter, and work has been just crazy for me, but I still have found time to play Resident Evil 7, which has been one of my first delights of the year. Of course, it didn't come before my daughter. She was the first delight, but this is an awesome and very incredible game. I've been playing it on PlayStation VR. I did take the PlayStation VR headset off yesterday and played for about an hour on my 1080p 60-inch TV. I gotta say that I had just as much fun playing on the regular screen as I did in VR, but the experience is different. The fun level was there, but the immersion was not. And of course, I would say at this point, if you have VR and you want something incredible with PlayStation, you need to definitely pick this game up. But when it comes to the fun factor of the game, there really is no compromises. I'll drop a link in the description. Resident Evil 7 is just as good without PlayStation VR. Virtual reality isn't what makes Capcom's latest game great. From the minute Resident Evil 7 was first announced during Sony's E3 2016 press conference, the game was marketed as an immersive first-person experience that's true potential laid in virtual reality. Sony worked with Capcom to make the entire game playable using a PlayStation VR headset, which many had assumed would be the definitive Resident Evil experience. But after playing through the first few hours of the game on a PC, Resident Evil 7 is just as terrifyingly good without VR. While virtual reality certainly is the focus of Resident Evil 7 on the PS4, it wasn't part of the game during early development. Following the release of Resident Evil 6, there was a lot of internal discussion about where Capcom wanted to take the franchise going forward. In an interview with Polygon last year, the game's producer, Masashika Kawada, revealed that his boss, Jun Takechi, requested that the team strip down the series to its very core. The best way to do that? Express the horror to players directly with a first-person perspective. The development team at Capcom worked hard to make sure that the new perspective of Resident Evil 7 was an immersive experience that brought players closer to the horror than ever before, regardless of the platform on which they were playing it on. Thanks to its new first-person perspective and stunning attention to little details, the game pulls you straight into the horrific world Ethan Winters finds himself in, even if you're playing from the couch. For my part, I've had a very difficult time pulling myself away from Resident Evil 7. While exploring the environment and looking for equipment that could aid in my escape, I've been absolutely blown away at just how real the standard version of Resident Evil 7 looks. Navigating the Baker property is a haunting task in itself due to the level of care the team has put into each of these environments. Tables are filled with little handwritten letters, empty bathtubs are slathered with black-gray grime, and the house itself is covered with eerie locks that honestly make my skin crawl. While strapping myself into a PSVR headset would certainly make me more susceptible to the game's many jump scares, the game's graphical hitches that reportedly come up courtesy of Resident Evil 7's virtual reality mode would pull me out of the game in a way that the standard version doesn't. While playing in virtual reality, Ethan's arms float around in front of you as you walk around in the game. Subtitles and cutscenes also play a little differently too, with awkward transitions to the occasional clipping. More importantly, Resident Evil 7 runs at a lower resolution in VR, which pulls a significant level of detail that makes the game so damn immersive to the player. While virtual reality is certainly going to be an experience worth trying for PlayStation 4 owners who have a PSVR headset readily available, it's one that looks like it sacrifices the immersion and visual performance that makes Resident Evil 7 feel fantastic. If you don't have a headset yourself, don't worry about the latest installment in the franchise selling itself short of your television. It's just as scary, just as immersive, and even more beautiful. Okay, so I agree with part of this article. It's definitely more beautiful. When you play on your regular TV screen, the image pops, that resolution is up there. I'm believing it's 1080p, even on Xbox One, so it looks really good and crisp. The cutscenes, everything looks a lot better when you're not playing through VR. When you play through VR and you put the headset on, of course, I don't have the PS4 Pro yet, the image does take a hit. When you look out into the distance, it's really hard to make out fine detail. Of course, when enemies and characters are right in your face, it looks amazing, right? But it does take a significant hit with the headset on. But one thing that they're kind of being disingenuous about in this article is the immersion factor. Nothing matches the immersion that you have when you have that headset on. You're looking around, you're spinning in your chair, you feel like you're actually in a physical place. And playing a game like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and having the sensation that you're actually in the Baker Mansion and these things are happening around you is something that no flat screen, no 1080p television can truly convey to you. It just looks great, it looks like a good looking game. When you have the VR headset on, it's a different game. But again, I agree the game does play very well. It feels fantastic on the regular television screen, but VR for me is a much better way to play personally. Some game mechanics are actually changed as well. When you use your weapons in VR, you actually control the direction that you're shooting or you're swinging by looking in that direction. So it actually gives you a more fine-tuned aiming mechanic than using just your regular analog controllers. But Resident Evil 7 is an incredible game, and if you don't have PlayStation VR, or if you're on Xbox, or if you're playing on PC and you don't have a virtual reality headset, I would say definitely pick it up. It's a very special gaming experience, and it's one at the beginning of the year. To me, this is like an early surprise for 2017. It's incredible, and after all the missteps that Capcom's made with the franchise in recent memory, Resident Evil 7 looks like it's definitely poised to take Resident Evil back in the direction of survival horror, and they're doing it right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give a thumbs up to show support for the channel, join the Facebook group, follow me on Twitter, and you can support the channel at beastlygamer.com. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.
Let it go.